And welcome to the new podcast, episode number 27. I am joined, as always, by producer extraordinaire Kelly. Let's get to it. Doing things a little bit different today. Having ourselves the Fight Companion episode. The softpod, the simulcast, reporting live on UFC Fight Night 148, Thompson versus Pettis. I am excited. Do a little bit of commentating on this card. Free card for all us Canadian folks, so I could not be more hyped. We're already right in the middle of the thick of things here with the Macy Barber taking out J.J. Aldrich. What a match that was. Great fight with Macy Barber showing she has more in the tank and can put up with a little bit of adversity with, she really getting rocked in that fight, come back at it. Coming down to the ring right now, we have Luis Pena versus Steven Superman Peterson. Should be a good fight. Luis Pena, he lost his last fight. Really one of those dudes who was highly sought after as being the next big thing at 145. He's super tall.
Yeah.
but he hasn't. But he kind of laid a stinker in his last fight. Wasn't a very good fight. I think it was actually for the. It was like the post Ultimate Fighter fight against that dude. So it was, we'll see if he can bounce back here. He just getting greased up, ready to get in the ring right now. We are live, by the way, folks. Live.
That guy's crazy tall. How tall is he?
He's tall. Let's take a look let's break it down here. Luis Pena. Let's see what his stats are. I think he's got a terrible nickname too. I think he's the Bob Ross of fighting. I think his nickname is. Oh, Violent Bob Ross. Yeah, that's his nickname. Terrible nickname. But yeah. Oh yeah. He lost to Michael Trezano. That's who it was. Yeah, that was actually that Trezano guy. Is a really tough dude. His first loss, obviously, coming off the guillotine submission at the Ultimate Fighter 27 finale. Then kind of was fought in the Valor organization. He even fought in the Shamrock FC for a little while. Ken Shamrock's organization, kind of more of a minor league show they put on in Southern California and Texas. We got the tail of the tape. Dude is 6'3", Luis Pena. Weight and way overweight, 148.5. I don't know.
Still super skinny.
Yeah, exactly. How does a guy weigh in?
You're the fattest skinny guy ever.
Taking on Steven Peterson, fighting out of Dallas, Texas, with a record of 17-7. Steven, the Superman Peterson. Got to do a plug for the venue we're in. This beautiful pub was hosting us, closed the doors for us to have us do our show in it. Can't believe it. The drinks are flowing. The food is flowing. The waitresses are at our beck and call at the St. Martin pub down in beautiful British Columbia. Can't say enough things about it. Yeah. Drink specials during the weeks, folks. We got Herb Dean as the third man in the ring. Here we go. My money's on. I'm going with Peterson here. He's got the better tattoos. Oh, comes out swinging wildly. They exchange kicks. Luis Pena with the front kick. Peterson backing him up here. Just ducking his head and swinging him wildly, pushes him up against the fence. Oh, going for the takedown, but he's really doing quite a good sprawl up against the fence. Tough to take down a dude. We've talked about this before in the past. Almost people dig their feet into that little section in between the floor and the cage. You really dig your feet in and just learn how to grip if you're don't want to get taken down. It can make the difference. For that little bit of difference, it's obviously got to hurt like a son of a bitch, though. That's for damn sure. Still working for that takedown now. Pena going for Kimura, on the turnaround here. He's still got his arm. He's in a compromised position here. Oh, Pena's really still stuck with that Kimura. He's got it now, and now Peterson's got to really think about it. He's actually almost on the defense now. Oh, he did get it. Oh,
shit.
he gets twisted around. But now Peterson's got almost like an arm bar here. Now he's just kind of holding him up in the air for drops him on his back of his head. Good move. Pena showing his strength from that scrawny frame. Here we go. A little bit of Pena working some ground and pound here, trying to find a way in. With Peterson being on the ground, he guts down on the ground now. Pena's in about looks like quarter guard here. He's got his legs crossed. Weird ground positioning there with both those guys. But that's jiu-jitsu for you. Oh, now side control for Pena. He's trying to step over. Oh, Pedersen locks his leg in, so he can't get. He's in that almost that quarter guard now, so he can't get a full guard. Almost going into Pedersen going into butterfly guard here. Trying to kick his way out. Pena kind of landing little shots here and there, and I think that's kind of stuff is gonna add up later on. Where Pedersen's already showing the wear and tear of those punches. His face is quite red. Pena going down again, wanting to do some more ground and pound, but now in the full guard of Peterson. Peterson gasping here. He's going for the top elbows, but that fro is really protecting the top of his head of Pena. I'd almost say that Pena would almost really want to stand him up here, and he lets him stand up and he catches him with a huge uppercut, another knee. Pena lands a knee and another almost with a tie plum. He pushes him up against the fence. Peterson's really gasping for air here now, tying him. He's trying to tie him up. Oh, lands a nasty elbow on the way out. I don't know if he got all of it, but I think he got enough of it. You're starting to see some swelling on the left eye of Peterson. I thought this guy would have a better chance here against Pena, but as this fight goes on, we're seeing him just get absolutely pummeled here. Oh, block that punch. That was gonna be a game finisher right there with that one. Peterson really having no answer for this. Oh, Luis Pena almost goes for the judo toss, but doesn't land it. Exchanging jabs. They now jump into the center of the ring. Body shot landed by Peterson. Pawing each other. Obviously, these guys have really let a lot out of the tank in the first opening minutes of the first round. Oh, a little bit of dipsy doodle from Pena. Swings his knee around and then tries to land the flying knee. Nice leg kick landed by Peterson. Body shot. Pena answers back with 2 shots of his own. A nice left lands by Pena right down the pipe. Guys are squaring off. Peterson just has no answer for any of this. The height and the reach of Pena is just proving to be far too much for Peterson. It seems like he had a bit of a game plan in that first little volley, but we can obviously see that game plan has gone to the wayside.
25 seconds left.
As Peterson's bleeding pretty bad underneath his right eye. He's going for another bad takedown. He's got to do a bit of a better job with the takedowns than this. He's got to go for something more tricky than just grabbing the dude's legs and trying to pull him down. He's got to be a bit more creative with that. Oh, Pena lands 2 and the round is over.
So what do you think about Tyrone Woodley and Henry Cejudo calling out Conor McGregor?
Everybody wants to call out Conor McGregor here. I know. Everybody. Jorge Masvidal had even called him out. I think that fight actually makes more sense. Everyone wants that payday, and I think that's exactly what this is. Everyone wants to get paid, and there's no other way around it, and rightfully so. Conor's only got a few more fights left in him that are going to be worth any money.
So how sad is it that you have to fight Conor to get paid?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the state of MMA as a whole. And these guys are coming. They're complaining about UFC pay. Go down to any other minor league that's not named Bellator and see how that turns out for you. You know what I mean? Because I can tell you right now, it's not going to be very viable anywhere else. And
unless you're the champ.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, I can guarantee anybody else that's in the higher weight classes is going to make much, much more money than any champ of 125, 135. That's for damn sure. Round 2, back at it. Flurry of exchanges from both Pedersen and Pena here. That's lazy move by Pedersen. I think he's looking for a way out of this fight because his jabs now have nothing on them. He's just throwing very wildly here. You know what I mean? And he's got no range at all. Pena easily slipping out of every exchange that he tries to throw. And yeah, he did go for the good takedown. I didn't mean to cut you off there, Kelly. He goes for a good takedown on that one. He did something with it. He went for a punch takedown and got it here. He's got to take his back here if he wants any chance of getting out of this round on in the plus.
He has one. Oh, he lost a hook. He's going for like a body triangle.
Yeah. I don't think he's got it fully. I don't. Yeah. Oh, good move by Pena. That's what I always say. That's what top 3 rules of my jiu-jitsu is 2-on-1, 2 hands on 1 hand.
All right on.
Yeah. Shook him off. Pena just too much.
Lighting him up right away.
Pedersen's back game was atrocious. Whoa. Gets hooked. Gets a nasty hook there on the way in for his troubles. I just don't see much coming out of this Pedersen guy. Spent too much time on his tattoos and not enough time on his fighting. Rounds him on the cage, pushes Luis Pena up against it. Both guys are grabbing a breath of fresh air here. Another takedown scored by Pedersen. Looking to do something with it here. You can't just hold down this guy. I give it to Pena for being that dude who keeps wanting to stand back up. That's the last thing you want to do if you're going to win a fight is just, kind of rest on the ground. Terrible strategy. And
he's willing to give up his back every time without fear.
Yeah, I think that first exchange, just to be able to toss them off your back, he almost had the body triangle too, to be able to toss him off that easily. Was a good move. Here we go again, 2-on-1 again, but I think he's kind of tied up a little bit. Pedersen doesn't have the body triangle in full here.
No, he needs it under his.
Yeah, he just, I don't know.
He's desperate. It looks like he's trying to stay alive.
Well, I think he's got to stop going for the body triangle because he just can't get his foot wrapped around well enough. It's like his feet are too short or his legs are too short or something.
Maybe he just doesn't have the dexterity and strength.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. That's definitely a big part of it. Good point, Kelly. That's definitely a huge part of it right there.
It's easier to get it when you're on the ground, I think.
Yeah. Oh, big time, because you got to use this a lot of weight just being right on your ankles for the strength to be all your strength to be right there. Pena shakes him off, gets him in the tie plum, starts trying to land some bombs. Now Pedersen's backs up against the fence. They both circle into the middle of the cage. Spinning back fist misses by Pedersen. Oh, back striking elbow by Pena. Just glances. Another elbow by Pena. Oh, flying knee doesn't land. He's using everything in his toolbook to put this dude out. I think, he just took a big breath of fresh air here. Pedersen, I think, is going to be going down here soon.
Body shots, head shots.
How much more punishment can this dude take?
He's just... the guy in blue.
Pena? Yeah.
Sorry. I've been having some waters here tonight. Pena's missing with everything, too. He's just coming up short every time.
Yeah. Now, he's throwing a lot of wacky stuff, but a lot of it is glancing or not hitting flush. I hear you on that, Kelly. I agree with you on that.
Up against the fence.
Pedersen tying him up, trying to grab the leg. It's just not enough Not enough in the tool chest, not enough in the gas tank, I think, for Pedersen here.
Looks like he's going for that Kimura again. It's like the same few moves, so it keeps happening over and over again.
That's what I'm saying.
I wonder, the tools and the tool chest just aren't there. Chest. I can't talk. I'm sorry, folks. This is live. Coming at you live. And that's the end of round 2. Or is that 3?
A wild exchange ends in round 2.
Yeah.
So get back to the Conor McGregor talk. I just think Jorge makes the most sense, but the thing is that what Conor had said is that he only wants to main event. He's only going to main event, and if the UFC wants him to co-main event, he seriously wants a stake in the UFC. And I think that's just the dumbest move the UFC could ever think of doing, giving a fighter like having ownership of the organization he's fighting for. Huge conflict of interest in my books. It's just, it must be illegal. You can't have a fighter because then obviously they're going to want him to win. You know what I mean? They're obviously the dude's part owner. They're obviously going to want him to win, and I just don't see it happen. Conor McGregor's a smart businessman for how dumb the guy is. He's a smart businessman. He knows how to make money. But I just don't see them doing that.
I think he should main event, though, because it's always been about the money, not about the actual talents or the belt involved. Otherwise, they wouldn't have men fighting for no belt above women fighting for the belt. You know what I mean?
It's true.
And it's happened before in the past. So it has to be about who people want to see, what the ratings, the people that pull in, right? So I think he has to main event.
Very true. No, I'm not disagreeing with him main eventing. I think I like him main eventing too. And obviously that's what people are paying to see is Conor McGregor fight, win or lose, whether it be for a belt or not for a belt.
Yeah.
But I just think that obviously the talks are that they want him to co-main event. And he's saying he'll fight it. He'll be the first fight in the undercard. He doesn't care, but he wants ownership. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Well, it's always been about money for him too.
Obviously, yep.
So why would he care if he's on the undercard as long as he has part ownership in the company?
Yeah.
That's what he wants. That's why he started the company Proper Whiskey. He's a money guy. He's a businessman above a fighter. He's always picked his fights. And he's been able to because he pulls in so many people, mostly the whole Irish country.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to have a whole country like that behind you. Absolutely.
Yeah. GSP hasn't even had that.
No, exactly. Where Canada was behind them, but we're not really that much about nationalists. We got a lot more sports and athletes going on where Ireland doesn't got shit all for athletes.
Yeah.
Going on in that butt-fuck country.
There's definitely people who don't even know who GSP is in this country.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yep. It's like Wayne Gretzky, that type of thing.
You don't even know that. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? That type of thing, right? There's a lot of very popular NHLers from Canada that people know and love and that type of thing here. Third round, 3 minutes to go, folks.
Same thing. Kimura up against the wall.
Yep.
He's cage, and now they're down again.
Pena really going for it. I think it is almost a little bit of a better position to be on the ground working for that Kimura. He could get it here. He's got him in closed guard. He could but Peterson recognized it and pulled out. On top here, I think this is what he had fought for the entire match, was to get on top. I don't know why Pena is really going. The closed guard from bottom, I think, is an old technique, and it definitely doesn't work in MMA unless you're going to work that. Oh, what a sweep! Unless you're going to work, it wasn't from the closed guard, but unless you're going to work, exactly. That's what I'm saying. The closed guard isn't really, unless you're going to go for an arm bar or something like that. But the closed guard in MMA it's got to be something that's got to be retired because it just doesn't really work that well anymore. It doesn't, everyone knows about it. It's kind of basic jiu-jitsu, and I think everyone just kind of work around it, and it doesn't really do anything but keep the guy on top of you punching you in the face.
It just limits the amount of damage he can do, but it doesn't limit the damage. He can keep hitting you.
Oh, Peterson go for it! Let go of the arm bar. Sorry, Kelly.
Oh, no worries.
Going for the arm bar. Didn't have enough of it, though. Pena's arms are just far too long. Going for a calf slicer almost here now. But I don't think that guy even knows what that move is. But even though he has him basically locked in, Peterson needs to work on his leg locks here. He's basically got, he can, with that triangle with his legs on his knee, he can really do a lot of leg lock moves, but he doesn't seem to know what a leg lock is, so he's out of it now.
It really does seem pretty amateur.
He does, exactly.
Like both moves, it's the same moves over and over. Same. They're not showing each other anything new.
Yeah.
Like nothing surprising.
That's for sure.
They know what to defend against, know what to go for.
Ooh.
Kick in the face on the way up.
I just think, oh, Peterson going for it again. Peterson, whoever this guy is, he's going for their takedown here, but I just don't think he's... Both guys are extremely gassed. 45 seconds left in the match. Pressing him up against the fence. Once again, going for that. Pena goes for the same old Kimura again here. Off the single leg. Sticks his hand in between Pedersen's legs to try to block the takedown. Peterson's just so tired here. Back to the Kimura. Oh, Pena takes Peterson's back with 20 seconds left.
Not a skill, just like pure exhaustion. Sorry.
Yeah.
Exhaustion. Yeah.
No, absolutely. It is pure exhaustion. Absolutely. 10 seconds left. Pena just holding him up against the fence. Tries to get a takedown to score a little bit of points in the closing seconds of the round. Lands a nice little 4-punch flurry there. I think it's definitely easy. My scorecards are easily to Bob Ross. We've seen some bad calls recently with the judging. I don't see it. Maybe 29-28, Luis Pena. Yeah. How do you score that one, Kelly?
Same. Yeah. He just landed too much damage in the first couple of rounds.
Yeah.
Second round, he got taken down for a bit, but it still landed on his feet. Ended on his feet. And, he threw that little 4-punch combo at the end, which is going to play in the judge's mind, right? Big
time. I think exactly that. Just too much. Too much output from Pena. Not enough punches landed by Peterson. Let's take a little look at this Steven Peterson here. Let's see who the hell this guy is, because this looks like it's his first UFC fight. Oh no, he's had a few fights as well. Fight Night, Texas. Steven Ocho Peterson. Kind of weird nickname, but I don't mind it. Fought out of the Legacy Fighting Championship for a long time. He must have been their champ or something like that. Then he fought in the Contender Series, lost by split decision, and then went back to LFA to win again, and then got his chance against Brandon Davis, UFC Fight Night 126, and then beat Matt Bassett at the Ultimate Fighter Finale 27. Also, these guys both fought on the same card for the Ultimate Fighter 27 finale. Kind of weird. And then in a roundabout way, here they fight each other again. We have the decision coming up right now, folks. Wow, 30-27 is definitely Luis Pena. Handily taking it. Violent Bob Ross moves on. 20% of his money is going to the other dude, though. It's weird. I could have swore he was American, but I guess he's representing Italy now. Weird.
He's getting interviewed by the light heavyweight champion, and he's taller than him.
Yeah.
Quite a bit taller. This is what John Jones' bones could look like at 155.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd have to grow a beard too to hide his sunken-in face.
Yep. Boom. Showing the replay.
Oh,
he got slapped him. That slap looked nasty too.
Got that Stockholm slap.
Sacktown and Backtown. We are coming live, folks, from Nashville, Tennessee. UFC Fight Night 148.
Oh, he's grabbing for the mic.
Oh, he's like, no. He's like, no.
Dude, nah, you're not famous enough yet.
You're 135.
You think you're a Conor McGregor?
Exactly. Oh, sorry. You're 145. You don't get to talk. The show's running late.
So
you gotta keep
you
it
heard
going.
about Ray Borg's son, how he was sick in the hospital for a long time. Not sure exactly what he had, but it's pretty bad. But Brendan Schaub offered to pay like all his hospital bills. And
Wow.
stuff like that. And I think they had like kind of like a donation thing as well.
Right.
But Ray Borg wrote March 23rd, 2019, wrote, "For those who keep tweeting me about Brendan Schaub, he's a man of his word and helped my family in a tremendous way, and therefore we're forever grateful."
Nice.
So, yeah, I think Brendan Schaub said, "I'll pay whatever it is. Like, I don't care." He said, "I'm rich," basically.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
pay shit.
Nice.
Good for him, man.
Super good for him. That's really cool, man. That's some good, feel good news right there. They got sent by. No, because you can definitely he's Ray Borg. He's 125. He's not making a lot of money. At that, he's not making.
No.
He's not making a lot of money at fighting for the UFC, and not enough to have your child in the hospital for a long period of time, especially in America. Coming at you live, folks.
Boom.
I don't know why they're putting on some. They got some sad commercials right now of father returning back from the war from Afghanistan or overseas. Be with his son. Think I got something in my eye again. Oh shit.
What do you think about TJ Dillashaw testing positive?
Yep,
He
TJ.
just relinquishes his belt, like doesn't even fight it, like most fighters do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be taken away anyways. And that's after like all of Team Alpha Male says he was the one with the steroids trying to bring it in.
They were saying steroids for years
Yeah.
for him, that he was the guy that taught everyone else how to use steroids, how to get steroids in and out of your system, and here he gets caught. Poor TJ.
What's going on here? Oh, they're chanting USA.
We got a USA chant going on in America of all places.
Who would have thought?
Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk it? It's gonna stop for a little smoke here, folks. Lots of no.
Oh, okay.
I got a ton of shit to talk about.
Sweet.
I was well prepared. Doing this live, folks. Coming at you. I was well prepared for what was going on. Great food at the St. Martin pub. Beautiful downtown Vancouver. Can't say enough about it. Check it out in your next outing, whether it be a date or whether you're just looking for a place to hang out with the guys after work. The St. Martin pub. On the corner of Davies and Dunbar.
Definitely look all day for it. It's worth trying to find.
Mm-hmm. It's worth the search.
Yes. It's one of those hidden door deals.
Exactly.
Don't want to show germs.
I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
Complimentary.
Yes. They even let you smoke inside.
It's legal here.
A fight announcement this week. Coming down at June UFC 238, Nina Anarsarov versus the natural-born killer on our list, Tatiana Suarez.
Oh, shit.
That one goes down in June. Super excited about that. Huge test because this Nina Anarsarov is actually a real tough girl here, giving Tatiana a real challenge for her next fight. Coming up next, we got a flyweight bout.
I'm not even going to attempt to say these people's names.
That's a tough one.
I've been stuttering all night. Not a good idea. Man.
Good gravy.
Oh, look at this guy's
Get this
and booze.
Get this man some scissor.
Just waters for me tonight. Lots of waters.
We got Jussier da Silva versus Davison Figueroa. This should actually be. Look how empty the crowd is. Oh, that was a previous fight. I can imagine. Flyweights. They got a real tough go. I don't know much about this Davison guy, but I know that obviously you guys are both from Brazil.
Mighty Mouse Davidson. What's the other guy's name?
Jussier da Silva.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna try that. Mighty Mouse Silva. Everyone's Mighty Mouse.
Da Silva has like a super sad story. I think his name is actually a lot longer. I think he just recently shortened his name.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
like
Formiga.
wrestling.
Yeah, Formiga.
It's like wrestling.
Well,
Make you shorten your name. So people
You
can
good?
say it.
I'm good after you on this one. Well, especially in Brazil and in most South American countries and Central American countries, your name you get like all the names. So like your grandma's last name, your great grandma's last name. You know what I mean? You have all those names.
That's cool.
Yeah. So your name is could be massive, right? And I think it's just so people just pick and choose which the coolest sounding ones are.
I used to think about like if I had a really bad last name
Yeah.
and I got married, I'd probably take my wife's last
Huh.
name.
Rough call. Rough call. I'm lucky enough to have a super cool last name.
Like,
so.
I don't want to start saying last names and offend people. But there's some bad ones.
Smith.
Hey, it's my last.
For the rest of the night.
Yeah.
But we've been cut off. What? I'm just saying, Smith is pretty plain. Is all. Is all. John Smith, but I digress. Formiga's background story. He was at because there really wasn't a 125 division in like all of 2000s. Basically, it was really for the minor leagues, and those guys were making pennies, especially to be a 125 fighter in Brazil. But Japan had Shudo in Brazil, and they also had the Shudo in Japan, and it was kind of their Brazilian organization for Shudo was kind of like their minor leagues, and then they'd bring up all those fighters, and then they get a fight in Japan. And Formiga was like their champion. He was like the number 125 fighter in the world, even before anybody even knew who Mighty Mouse was. But the dude was living in a shack. He was living in a shanty. He was a champion, number 125 in the world, and was living in a shanty. You know what I mean? In Brazil, in the favelas. And what was the saddest story was his dad was like the kind of like the moneymaker of the family. He lived in like a hut with his mom, his dad, his girlfriend, and his newborn son. And his dad was like was the moneymaker, so he could fight. And he would run messages between hospitals. He was like a courier for hospitals, right? He'd like on a motorbike, and he would run messages and different things from hospital to hospital. He gets run over by a truck and killed.
Oh shit!
And he
Take a very hard turn.
and so then he's really hoping. So now he has to be he's now has to be the moneymaker for the family, and he's trying to do that through fighting. And he was having a hard time getting a visa because I think Bellator was going to give him a chance, or there was an American organization. I can't remember what the heck it is though. They're still around, but they were the first. They were like the big 125 division in the States. Whether there's Legacy or one of those underground divisions. I think it was Legacy, but they were trying to give him a chance, but he couldn't get a visa, and that's what this whole article was about him getting. This is a long time ago, right? You know what I mean? This is about him getting a visa, and here he eventually gets, comes over to America, wins all his fight, and then gets the opportunity in the UFC.
Both 5'5", 126 pounds.
Very even.
Virtually identical.
The same weight, too. Imagine that. Very strange, I know. Stevenson fighting out of Soré, Pará, Brazil. Holy moly, yeah. Undefeated.
15-0.
Looks like a fighter. The only problem is he's like 5'2".
What's that?
Sounds like somebody's chewing.
Sure am. I'm gonna chew it up on this mic. See if it registers.
Spitting hot flames. Oh, it does. And remember I usually eat gummy bears? Gummy worms, that type of thing? It comes up on that. Should be actually a good fight for 125, guys. I think this actually won't go to the distance, which is actually always good news when you're watching two dudes at flyweight, that's for sure. Keith Peterson, the third man in the octagon. Let's get this party started. Flyweights. Here we go. Both guys taking the center of the ring, feeling no process obviously right now. Tale of the old 125 against the up-and-coming undefeated prospect. No one wants to flinch in this one. Whoopsie daisy.
Buddy looks like he took a pink Corolla marker to the side of his head. Not sure what that's about.
You used to see it in the earlier days. There was a, you know what I mean, you'd stand out. You know what I mean? I think that's what it's all about, is standing out, right?
Ooh. His head red.
Yeah, exactly. Leaving, exactly. There was a guy, he was from Quebec too. I think his name was Michel Goulet, I think his name was.
Yeah, Goulet, yeah.
Yeah, you know, he wasn't a very good fighter, but he had some wacky ass.
Super fast. It's like, and go, and he's out.
That's the problem with him. He wasn't that good of a fighter.
But his hair was amazing.
His hair was out of this world.
Spent more time in the hairdresser than
Yeah.
he did on in training.
Exactly. Didn't turn out for him.
No. But I still remember the hair.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. One reason why we're talking about him. Exactly. Maybe he's a trainer somewhere in Quebec, something like that. Oh, Formiga landed a stiff little jab there.
He has the skills, but has no chance.
Oh, good counter. It was a heavy leg kick to eat for that counter, though. Exchanging punches. No one wants to make a mistake in this one. Both guys. They definitely want to keep on the ground. I thought, maybe somebody would go for a takedown in this one.
Yeah.
We did not see that, especially, it's good to nullify a heavy striker. Whoa!
Spinning back fist.
Nice spinning back fist. Yeah, beautiful. That was beautiful.
It was all timing.
Yeah. He hit it off the counter again. He's almost just a touch too slow on those counters, though. If the other dude, Stevenson, can just kind of back out, do punch, and then back out of it, I think he may have something. And then try to mount something on top of that. I think you could have something, but obviously he's got to time it properly too, because you don't want to catch the wrong side of one of those spinning back fists trying to do something cheeky.
Not really doing much of anything.
Oh, here we go for the takedown. See, that's what I was talking about. Go for the takedown. He got it handily. You did not expect it one single bit.
That was GSP specialty. Just taking you down in the last 2 minutes of the round.
Yep.
Just making it count. So
And-
that the judges see you,
And
dominating you.
effortlessly too. I think that's what GSP used to do too. Was just his ability to take someone down, just very similar to like that, almost like kind of like a body grab takedown. Not really going for a double leg, even though his double leg was beautiful. Just those little grab kind of takedowns that he would do were absolutely amazing.
$15 and 0, and he's on his back. Oh, he's popping up.
Here we go.
He's up.
Back up to their feet here. Using his clinch game up against the fence here, just kind of holding them. I wouldn't surprise if this leads up. The referee's got to get in there and separate them. You got to give him like a count to 5 or something on this one here. 1.
Yeah, they're not doing
No.
anything.
Oh, there they go. Yeah, Dyson tries to go for the takedown to shake him off. They both kind of landed on their heads there. But Formiga's got to go for something here. If he hopes to win this, he can't just straight up double underhook hold him like that. And little knees to the inner thigh aren't going to win that battle either.
No.
Oh, beautiful takedown by Formiga. What a nice little trip. And he's in full mount, landing some bombs. Good golly. Oh, he's got enough time to do it, though. 10 seconds left. Oh, Formiga lands a nice elbow. He tries to get bucked, but he's not going anywhere. The round expires. Call Deep some fucking Zach Morris because he just got saved by the motherfucking bell. What a way to end the round for the 125ers.
So when's my balls is hot next fight?
That was the big news this week, is that he's actually taking some time off for knee surgery.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's repairing his ACL. Yeah.
When did that happen?
I think it was like Monday or Tuesday or something like that.
Shit.
So I think he's gonna be on the shelf for at least 6 months, at least. You'd think, if not a full year.
Those big guys.
Yeah. Yeah, good for him. If he can come back, I think he'll be a viable commodity when he does come back. I think it just for of the division as itself. And if he comes back healthier, maybe a little bit skinnier, you know what I mean? I'm not saying anything wrong, but obviously he's been putting that free Popeyes to good use in his last fight.
It's definitely a personality.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People will eat him up every time, and he's a damn good fighter. And he had Dos Santos rocked there in his fight. He's not a dude to be slept on. Even Hurt, he fired back like a caged animal. Hurt is one of the toughest dudes at heavyweight right now. Compliments of the chef, I'm sure.
Yeah, that was the grandma, sir.
Oh, Formiga tags him a little bit. I don't know if it was more of a slip or it was a little bit of both. Oh, Formiga really getting it out of here. Nice little scramble there, but he didn't give up on the ankle and gets another takedown here. Hopefully he can capitalize on what he had done in the previous round.
Oh man, I should have requested chocolate next time.
But Deepson here is still alive.
2 more hot pockets.
And a bucket.
And a bucket. Hot pockets in a bucket, please. You know the funniest is like that episode of South Park when they're playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
You guys ever seen that episode?
Yeah.
And they're like become like such like huge nerds, like killing the level 1 boars that they have to like Cartman. Yeah, Cartman has to get his mom to help him shit, and it just very comical scene. Very comical scene. But I digress. Formiga still working the ground game here. Guys, he's keeping busy enough to where we won't get a stand up here, but he's not doing a whole hell of a lot. He's winning the round here, and I think at flyweight that's huge. That's huge there, especially going into the third round, 2-0. He's got to have some confidence and feel that the only way this guy's going to win is if he knocks him out or gets submitted, and that's not going to happen because he's just kind of controlled it at all aspects of the game.
Got some catnip here.
Is that really what it's called?
No.
That's hilarious.
That'd be hilarious if it was.
A strain that was
Let's
called
see
catnip.
What happens, man?
Oh,
Cats love it.
it looks like Formiga may have got sliced open with an elbow here, and he is gushing like crazy now.
1 million cats can't be wrong.
Just go around and start fucking pissing on stuff.
Oh, man.
I just think they just trip balls. Do they really piss on stuff on catnip?
No.
I think they just trip balls. Cats tripping balls. Catnip, try it today.
Damn it, Katie.
Formiga still owning the year, even though he's gushing pretty badly. Figueiredo's got nothing for him here.
We have maybe special guest, local celebrity comedian Kyle here, but he doesn't want to go on mic.
That's just his
Just
fake
him in the
name.
background.
He's really a spot, like a celebrity that's in a movie right now that we can't tell you about. He's just filling in. Kyle's just his alias. But we'll give you a hint at the end of the show of who he is, and maybe you guys can figure it out. A-list or celebrity, I shit you not. Going into the third round.
Kevin Gaslam. Oh, this is what card is this? Stacked.
Oh, super stacked, yeah. UFC 236. That is when to kind of just round out the Conor McGregor talk. That is when apparently the UFC is kind of giving Conor the ultimatum that I think they're going to make an announcement at 236 of who his next opponent is going to be. And I think that's the biggest news right now, because I think that's the biggest rumor is it is going to be a co-main event on an upcoming card, probably some big card in the summer. And I think that's when we could see the return of Conor McGregor, who is up against the list is endless. Obviously, everyone wants that money.
If he fights Usman, does Usman eat his soul?
I think that'd be the first official murder in the UFC. Would be Usman versus Conor McGregor.
Oh, he would never be the same.
He's just too strong at 170. Be able to outwork Tyron Woodley like that. That's just unheard of. To beat him at his own game. Third round here, 125. I don't know why would they put the 125 card on first? Obviously a good move putting the women's match on first, especially with the up and comer Macy Barber, but whoa. Figueiredo lands a nice little straight jab right to the chest. I don't know why they would have placed this one as high up as they have. It is obviously two really good flyweights, but in an organization that has almost basically said that we're going to get rid of flyweights, it's kind of weird that they would showcase a flyweight match. Still exchanging strong this late. Nice little duck by Formiga there. No one wants to go to the fence though. Formiga punching on the exchange on his way out. It's easily got to be Formiga 2-0 right here, 2-1. So he just for a dude to be sitting on the back pedal how he is, we're in for a pretty boring round, folks. Talk about our sponsorships. This UFC is sponsored by water. Cold, refreshing, mountain-fed water. Figueiredo really, he's trying to walk him down here, but I think for a dude who's in his position, down 2-0, I think he's got to put his foot on the gas pedal and really press for something. I know he's been hurt a few times here, but if he hopes for any chance of winning this and not getting his first loss, he can't be standing like that with his chin up like that, getting tagged again and losing points. Oh, Formiga tried. Oh, goes for the take. Oh, Davison tries to go for the guillotine here, but he's got the arm in. Formiga with having almost that quarter guard there. I think he's in a safe spot. Yeah, he pops right out. Going into the half guard there. Formiga just kind of going with a smother. He could actually, if he's playing for the arm triangle choke here, he could get it, but with Davison's knee being up in the position he can't sweep over to that other side. So in order for Formiga to get the arm triangle choke, he would have to switch over to the other side. I think he's just kind of happy where he is, but he could kind of launch off. There he goes. Yep, there he goes. Called it. You see what he did there? He used his left foot as leverage underneath. He's underneath of Davison's right thigh, and then lifted his other leg over for an easy mount. Good move. Davison trying to get out of it because he's just getting force-fed here by Formiga, and with the clock just ticking. Oh, he gave a last little push there, and it worked out for him. But now with Formiga's on his back, standing up against the cage, it's better that he is up against the cage, Kelly, because with that, you see it all the time. You can almost like scrape the guy off you from being pressed up against the cage like that. Top position, wow. Just all Formiga. To have that much time on the top position, wow.
It's like he's looking for the knockout punch, but I can't see that coming.
It's not going to come from one punch, that's for sure. He's got to set it up with something else. Formiga looking a little actually gassed here now. Figueiredo could do something here. Maybe he's sensing them. He's smelling the blood in the water here. He could go for a little. Oh, almost a clashing of heads there, really. 15 seconds here to go. Oh, Formiga lands a nice little left elbow almost there. And that's it for the fight. It wasn't terrible. 125.
That's how you want to describe a fight.
It wasn't a 125. I think I'm going in with such low expectations already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. We've been talking about TJ Dillashaw failing his piss test all night. But one dude that we're not talking about is Diego Costa. Fails his piss test. And he will not be fighting Yoel Romero anymore in Miami, which is really shitty news. Those dudes who have a ton of personal beef, they will not be going at it again. And Costa's probably out for 2 years on this one. There's like apparently video of showing him shooting up into his arm of straight up steroids and shit. So
maybe you thought it was protein.
it was just a Tico meter in water.
Steroids in my
Who put those there?
I swear I was just snorting cocaine. I didn't know that steroids.
Exactly. And Viagra's a good one to do as well. That one will get you out as well.
Not if you have a video of you injecting.
Viagra into your dick.
Into your dick.
I'm sure people
Who's
have.
shooting that video?
I'm sure people have done that. Don't try this at home, folks. Do not crush up Viagra and shoot it into your dick.
No.
But his new opponent has been announced.
Who's that?
Jacare.
Oh, shit. They never fought?
They have fought already once before, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
And Romero won.
Yeah.
Formiga taking the win, giving Figueiredo his first loss. Huge win for him, especially for if somebody's going to challenge for 125 next. I think it's got to be him. His longtime trainer from ATT Florida, Daniel Da Silva. Dude also has fought back in the early days of UFC as well. Super tough dude. Florida, yeah, big guy too, exactly. It's odd that we don't see more cards in Florida. You'd think there's a lot of prominent MMA gyms from Florida. There's a ton of D-bags in Florida. So it just only makes sense that it'd be an MMA hotbed. We don't see MMA shows in Florida. They got the population too. Why is that? I wonder why that is. You know what I mean, Kelly? You know what I'm talking about?
Isn't it like an older population though?
That's true.
Like retirement.
That is true too.
Yeah.
That is true too. But still, it's got to be an MMA hotbed over there.
Yeah.
Still, they got to have the young enough population to be able to host an event. You know what I mean? People go watch Dolphins games and they're terrible. You know what I mean? And those games sell out all the time. The Miami Dolphins, even their baseball team, Marlins, even worse. They're paying people. I'm not even shitting you. They have like the worst attendance record. They're paying people to go to games. They're giving you it's like $20 and you get like 2 beer vouchers, 2 hot dog vouchers, and then tickets to see a future game for free for $20. You know what I mean? Florida Marlins. So maybe it is a problem, but maybe MMA can go in there and be something. You know what I mean? Why not try it out? You know what I mean? Why not try it out?
People go there and say, I just wanted to drink some beer and look at fish. What's this shit?
Fish. I didn't know it was such a fish sightseeing destination too. It's got
And dolphins.
yeah, exactly. Why are all your team named after fish? Something going on down here. All right.
Better in the shadows.
Oh, shit. UFC lightweights. Let's break down this list here. Lightweight champions. Jens Pulver, 2001 to 2006. Sean Shirk. Because I think that was like really when they brought it back. Sean Shirk, what a terrible fighter that dude was. I can't remember who he fought for the title as well.
Joe Daddy Stevenson.
Oh, was it? Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, wow. Yeah, it was a ground and pound beatdown.
Joe Daddy.
Because I don't think even for Joe Daddy Stevens to be 155, I think was a bit of a stretch for him. You know what I mean? Tough dude. But he's not very big. That's the only thing. Oh, beautiful Nashville. Home of the Titans. Predators.
What about the fish, man.
They don't have any fish in their town. No fish in their
love
town.
for the fish.
No fish in their town. You remember, Kelly, I was talking about, remember that Road FC I watched the other day?
Yeah.
And there was that dude, that Brazilian dude who did like that backflip stomp.
Yeah, I saw that.
He got signed by the UFC because of that fight.
No way.
Yeah, UFC.
Nice.
Michel Pereira gets signed by the UFC. Huge signing for him. He's a big dude, but what's even crazy, he fought at open weight, and I think he weighed in like 230, but for the UFC, he's actually going to weigh in at 170.
Oh, wow.
That's what he's saying he's going to weigh at. So this dude's a massive, massive dude. I would be surprised if he made down to 170, just seeing him in that match that I saw him in. But it's just kind of cool, you know what I mean, that's what watching all these underground events is about, is seeing these dudes, these up-and-coming guys, before they were real big stars, and we have one here in Michel Pereira.
Kenzie Dern's out for a while.
Unfortunately.
Claudia Gadelha might be as well.
Oh, really? Wow. Wow.
Rumors.
Really? Wow. Huh. Claudia Gadelha, one of the best women fighters in the world, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
One of my favorite MMA women of all time, for sure.
Always been up there with the top 5.
Yeah, that's what the hardest thing for her is. She's always been that woman who's always had to fight the top 5 competition her whole career because she's so good.
Yeah.
So she has a few losses, but it's only because of that, because she's just fighting the toughest people out there in her weight division all the time, because of just how so tough she is. But she'll always be a huge mainstay in Brazil with the amount of Brazilian cards the UFC is throwing at us. She'll always have a home there and get. I'm sure she's got to have some kind of a decent deal, especially for a Brazilian. It's got to be lucrative for her. Coming up next, lightweight bout. John Makdessi taking on Jesus Pinedo. Don't know much about this Jesus Pinedo guy. Obviously, John Makdessi has been around for a long time. I was actually surprised that Jesus was actually the favorite to win. Or, actually, the underdog. We're live, folks. The underdog in this, especially this guy is 16-4. El Mudo. Oh, he's got a cool nickname, too. He's fighting out of Peru. I think that's kind of his only downside. What kind of real gyms could they have in Peru? But he did win his UFC debut against Devin Powell. Kind of fought in a few odd ones. Inca FC, which I'm sure I can only assume is somewhere out of Central America. But he just kind of dominated that weight class at that event. Fought this is this 300 Sparta organization I've heard of before, and it looks like he actually headlined it. Other than that, really no names to mention. Kind of just a bunch of South American nobodies, really. You want to see these dudes go up against, if they're like the main guy of their organization in their country. You want to see that organization bring in the UFC, the UFC cast-off talent. You know what I mean? The Jesse Taylors, I think, were a perfect example of that. The dudes who they're the Ronin, they're the hired guns. They're going to go to all these minor league organizations and fight, and get a somewhat of a paycheck. Kind of do it as like a tour around, and that's kind of the dudes you want to see this guy face. And it doesn't look like he's faced it really on his record. But if fighting out of Peru, I couldn't imagine much people come through your town. That's for sure. But we will see. I would have put money on him because I'm not sure about John Makdessi. You know what I'm saying, Kelly? We've seen him.
Canadian.
I know, but I've seen too many of his fights. I think that's the problem. I've seen him fight too many times. That he's not that great of a fighter. That's what I'm saying. Didn't he get his jaw broken too by Donald Cerrone?
Yeah, but he has experience now.
It's true. That was a long time ago too. He's fought a lot since then. Lost to Yancy Medeiros since losing to Donald Cerrone. Beat Mihad Baghdad. And then lost to Lando Venata. He's a tough dude. Got KO'd. But he's actually on a 2-fight winning streak. against actually kind of tough dudes in Abel Trujillo and Ross Pearson. Both by decision, though. So we'll see. From John, the Bull, Makdessi. Fighting.
Pearson's a pretty big win.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree. I always tail the tape coming up. Wow. So even the dude is 6 inches taller than John Makdessi. Almost the same height, though. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the reach. 6-inch reach, yeah. The height is very similar. From the weigh-ins, it didn't look like their height was that close. Lightweight division, here we go. I like to see more of the melting pot in the UFC. These dudes from different countries all over the world, you know, whether it be like Mongolia or you know, like Argentina or something like that. Just all dudes from all over the place representing and makes the UFC a bit more of a flashy sport, like the mixed martial arts melting pot, which is what we want to see. John Makdessi fighting out of Montreal. That's what always stuck with me, Kelly, when we went to that Affliction fight in Anaheim.
Yeah.
And there was a guy that was sitting close to us, and he was from California, and he was super like hyped into fights too. And we got like talking throughout the night, and he finds out we're Canadian, and I thought like, oh, this guy's really smart, not a dumbass American at all. And he's like, oh, do you guys ever see GSP just walking around up in Canada? I'm like, are you fucking stupid?
He just walks around up in Canada.
Yeah, exactly. We're just one town. What the hell kind of question is that? I know, Canada town. What kind of question is that? I'm like, no, he's on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast, man. You know what I mean? Come on, dude.
I don't know. You ever see John Jones Bones?
Oh, shit.
I
America.
saw Caleb Stearns walking around once.
Mm-hmm.
But he's local.
Yep. Yeah, I saw him at the mall, too.
I saw him running away from somebody. No, I'm kidding.
That's gold, man. That's gold. Oh, shit. Back to the fight here, Kelly. Makdessi controlling the ring here, trying to fake him out. I think that reach is just going to really be the disadvantage. I think what he did right there, trying to throw some kick here and there because his reach is so short compared to the other dude. He's really got to work those kicks. At least we got the co-main event coming up here. This is a bit of a rough beginning to this one. A minute and a half in, these dudes haven't really done much. But I guess that's probably Makdessi's strategy. He's won his last 2 fights by decision. He's not in any rush to go anywhere fast here.
Lots of kicks thrown by Pinedo? What's his name?
Pinedo.
Okay,
Yeah, he's been working his kicks too. Yeah, good call, Kelly. He's working his kicks too.
Getting laughed at. Pinedo.
Pine dough.
What's his name?
Pine dough? Oh, nice flurry there. We see a first bit of flash of action at 2 minutes and 30 seconds here. I think Makdessi must be like a taekwondo guy. So he really throws a lot of that side kick. I think Pinedo, he went to decision in his first UFC fight. So I should have seen this coming. Yeah, we should have seen this coming. This one actually could be a long, worn out decision here. This fight brought to you by water. Go get yourself a glass. John Makdessi's been fighting in the UFC forever here. Holy shit. Basically, he's been fighting he hasn't left the UFC since 2010.
Well, he does all the Canadian cards too, right?
That's true, too. Yeah, exactly. What a career. He won his first fight against Pat Onderwood. Like, who the hell is that? And then Kyle Watson he beat up. Yeah, I remember that's what got him his claim to fame was that spinning back fist that knocked that dude right out cold. And then he got choked out by Dennis Hallman. Lost to Ndaku by decision. Beat Sam Stout. And then he wins 3 again. Very weird career for this guy. Ups and downs to a T at 155. The crowd is starting to boo now. This one is getting a little rough here, folks. This one's putting me to the test, and I was prepared for the worst. Especially with the lightweight bout being on it. Am I going to have enough to talk about? And I was prepared for the worst, and I didn't expect it out of this fight, actually. But here, Pinito really doesn't want to engage at all here. He's really backing up constantly. Doing a lot of juking and jiving, but then backing up with that juking and jiving. He's really got to kind of work some counters here. Slow-ass counter if you're going to be the young dude fighting this old dude. Oh, he eats one there. I think it's actually the first significant strike of the match coming with 10 seconds left. Hot tamales. We got a star fest, folks. Perfect time to grab a beer.
Yay, Jeeps. You guys love Jeeps. Oh, that's a Roxor. I don't even know what that is.
It's like a Jeep too, but it's like a small. It's like a small version. You couldn't like drive on the road. You have to put it in a trailer and then like take it off roading. It's like a really big quad, like a huge one you drive like a Jeep.
Should be able to drive quads on the road.
In some places you can, and especially in the southern states in America. You definitely, it's not legal, but you can. Drinking delicious Okanagan Springs Winter Mixer Pack. Last chair red lager. Delicious red goodness in every sip. Oof. Round 2. Let's see what happens in this, folks. Back to Makdessi's record here. Beating Sam Stout's a big win, even if it is by decision. He beat actually Darren Cruikshank and then Rene Forte, but then he loses to a weird one against Alex Patrick Alves. That's kind of a weird one. Another nobody. Beat Shane Campbell. TKO, actually. And then loses to Donald Cerrone, which is a very tough dude to fight. And then loses to Yancy Medeiros by split decision, too. Yancy Medeiros is a very tough dude. Weird up and down for John Makdessi. He's only 33, too, so he's still got a lot left in the tank. He's fighting actually out of Rufus Sport now. Not fighting out of TriStar Gym. Maybe that's helped his career, changing up gyms. Not standing in the shadow of George St. Pierre. Just moving to the States maybe helps out too.
Is Rory McDonald still at TriStar?
He must be.
Yeah, because I think, what's his last name? Tahasi?
Oh, yeah, yep.
Yeah,
the owner?
Yeah, I think he's still training him. His main coach.
Booze coming down again, yeah. The boos are coming down again. This one's a little bit of a rough one, folks. Glad if you're not watching this one, you're winning on that. That's for damn sure.
Lots of kicks, but like no real power behind them either.
That exactly, yeah, big time, yeah, good call, Kelly. Yeah, absolutely. We are seeing a lot of kicks from both guys, but nothing on them. Absolutely, just almost like a show flashy kick. Penny is just really just backing away from everything he's just throwing, and
Well, this one.
there's one. He caught it, but he was trying to back away from it as well. There you go, just backing away. I'll stand up close, then I'll back away. Stand up close, then I'll back away. This is countering, but then this is just rough. Maybe he did get his training from Caleb Starms. All right. With all the Connor talk, it was going to be Donald Cerrone was going to face him. I know it was like one of the big names to face him, but I think they couldn't agree to something because they were going to obviously be a co-main event. It wasn't going to be a main event. It was going to be a co-main event. You know what I mean? With Donald Cerrone, it would be a huge fight. But now
who would main event that? It doesn't make
it'd be
sense.
a title. I guess a title shot. I guess you know what I mean.
Even a title shot.
It'd have to be like 205 or heavyweight. I think they're trying to build something up. I think that's the big thing is they're trying to build something up for August.
Yeah,
I think
it'd have to be like DC versus Brock Lesnar.
that's the big. That's actually who it is rumored there that they wanted to do.
makes
Yeah,
sense,
exactly. Yeah, which would make that card a mega card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but the fight has been announced of Donald Cerrone's next opponent. Who do you think it is?
Oh, tough call right now. I don't know, man.
Al Iaquinta.
No way.
Yeah. And that one goes down, yeah. After Conor Bracer refused to fight.
How does Al keep getting fights while talking shit about Dana?
Well, he's got a tough test ahead of him. It's the two dudes who've really been talking a lot of shit recently are going head to head. In Cerrone and Iaquinta, two dudes who have been wanting the money, and here they got to fight each other for that money card, I guess.
Should be a good fight though.
Yeah, exactly. It will be a good fight.
I think
Exactly.
Ally wants to take him to the ground. Donald's probably gonna want to stand.
Yeah. I don't know. Iaquinta, his Kevin Lee fight, I mean, he really kind of worked him on the feet. So I think it's a battle of two dudes who have very similar skill set. I think the edge would maybe go to submissions to Donald Cerrone, but other than that, I think it's very even. Oh, Pineda! Finally, we see something here.
Starting to see a little bit more energy.
Yeah.
But
But-
will they swing?
Oh!
Gets punched like Andrei Arlovsky versus Fedor.
That was yeah, exactly. That was one of the greatest flying knee counters of all time, man. And I saw it live. It was one of the craziest moments of my life.
I want to see what the corners are saying.
Yeah, they're not giving us that this. Maybe they'll come in early. They come in and only do it every once in a while for some weird reason. Another big announcement this week for fight announcements was going to be Luke Rockhold's next opponent. He's finally moving up to 205, and his next opponent has been announced as Jan Blachowicz. Will welcome to the 205 division. And I think that one goes down in the summertime as well. I can almost guarantee it's going to be on the same card as Donald Cerrone, where they're trying to power pack these gyms into cards, and maybe we can see another dude also on that from the AKA gym on that card as well.
Who else he fought? Jan Blachowicz?
Yeah, Jan Blachowicz. He just lost to Thiago Santos. He's beaten Jimmy Manawa twice too. He's Polish, the Polish guy.
Okay, yeah.
I think he knocked out OSP.
Okay,
I think yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Should be interesting.
Third round. Oh boy. It's about as bad as watching the Broncos play football last year. I'm not a Canucks fan either. You're barking up the wrong tree on that one.
Well, how about the Blackhawks?
Not bad.
Shut up.
Not a good year this year. But they didn't do terrible. They're not the worst team in the league.
How about them Iconics?
Exactly. I agree with you on that. I hope they get a match at WrestleMania.
Hell yeah.
They actually beat the tag team champs in a non-title match. It was a good match. I don't know, Morgan's not here to argue the Iconics. He hates them.
Still a lot of the same, just lots of kicks.
Yeah.
Not much behind it. They keep going for the head kick though and putting some power behind that, but they kind of see it coming and block it every time.
Yeah, they're just standing so far away from each other. It's like I don't know if I think like one punch has been landed all fight. They've just been leg kicking each other and going for these body kicks the whole fight. It's been a rough one to watch. They haven't been entirely doing nothing, but what they have been doing hasn't been all that exciting.
Looks like a glory fight.
A little bit, yeah. I know. That's what I watched that glory card the other day. It was rough. Kickboxing is not what it used to be. I think the problem with it is they brought in weight classes. Just keep it at open weight like K1 was. It was the best. Open.
Yeah, but it has to be sanctioned.
Obviously. Yeah.
But you can have it overseas.
Exactly. But they did have, what was the funniest thing about K1 is they had like open weight division and 155, and that was it.
That works.
But the 155 division was actually really amazing. Actually, I really enjoyed it a lot. They had tons of tournaments. They'd always have tournaments every time they'd have 155, and it was actually they actually had a lot of really good fighters. There was tons of knockouts, and it was incredibly amazing matches. It was the introduction of like HD TV. I think it really changed sports as a whole, especially MMA, because of do you remember it was like the first it was HD Fights or HD Net or whatever the hell it was called. It was like a fight channel on the HD channels. I think it was just called HD Net. I think is what it was called. Yeah, and it had like the best fights. They had all the Japanese fights, everything. It was one of those really cool, really real cool times to be an MMA fan. And they had tons of the K1 was on it, and all the Japanese cards were on it, obviously, and a lot of underground cards were on it as well. It was amazing. The MFCs were also on it as well.
I have no idea who's winning.
This is a rough one. Whew, to be calling on this card is one thing, but to be judging it, whew, that's another thing. Whew. Do you remember that, man? Do you remember that, Kyle? Having first days of HD TV, that channel that was called Oasis. Do you remember that? Good channel. That was a good channel. Really cool channel. I was like, man, technology. That's when I thought, like, oh man, TVs are amazing right now. We're in the future. He's Pinito trying to be good old gangster up in there and calling him on and egging him on, but he's not really doing much with the punchback. 30 seconds to go of this rough one. Whew. We have had a tough one to watch, and I think we're seeing the most coming out of here. Pineda, I think, just from the damage, I guess we'd have to say Pinito has taken this one here. Another kick exchange, and Magdesi he's really lost his touch in the third round here. Oh, that was a real pitiful spinning back fist. I'll give it to these guys though. They went right to the bell. They went right to the bell.
Started slow though.
Yeah, that's an understatement. That's an understatement. Oh, the Tony Ferguson talk this week has been kind of depressing. You know what I mean? It's really shitty about him.
What happened?
Just he won't be fighting anytime soon. I'll get into it more in the show, but it is the whole new Tony Ferguson news coming up. He's got mental health issues. This is the biggest problem Whether that was caused by fighting or whether that was caused just by some kind of chemical imbalance in his head, dude needs help. I did catch Night Fight. I caught the Night Fight one. We'll talk more about that later on in the show. Night Fight, man, it went down. It was awesome. Finale going down.
It's like a pie without a crust on top. But it's also like a cake with fruit on top.
Judge's decision coming up. Oh, 30-27 across the board here. Who to Benito? Wow, John Makdessi gets the 30-27 across the board. Wow, did not see that. Goes 3 fights. Nobody gets an interview after that Snorefest. They ain't gonna talk to nobody. Nice. Next bout, we get Curtis Blades versus Big Pretty Justin Smith. Big Pretty taking on Curtis Blades coming up, Kelly. Coming to you live. Wow. That's your breakdown of the fight. Curtis Blades is going to take it.
That's my whole breakdown.
Wow. I think Justin Smith's got a chance. He does have the size, I think, advantage, but Curtis Blades cannot be slept on for his lankiness. But we'll see who's the better wrestler. I think that's what this one was going to really come down to. Who's the better wrestler and who's got better game? Because Justin Willis has not lost since his first fight. So this is going to be a tough test for Curtis Blades. Fashi came out of WSOF and basically instantly got signed by the UFC. Oh, he actually fought in crazy. He actually fought in the IGF, which is a Japanese organization.
Weird.
Yeah.
Looks
And
happy.
Big Pretty fighting out of East Palo Alto, California.
How are they not sued by it?
I wish I lived in California. I can tell you that much.
Depends where.
This is exactly
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like
You don't want to live like Englewood, maybe.
obviously.
But there's some nice places
Yeah.
that are safer.
Obviously. I think it's got like a mega suburb. I wouldn't want to. I'm not talking like LA. I'm like talking even like in between LA and San Francisco. There's really a lot of land there that really is no major city.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I think you could probably find a very reasonable place there. It'd be very cool. Love the weather. Summer all the time.
I just said Englewood because I drove through it when I was heading towards Mexico.
Inglewood. Up to no good.
Lots of bars on the windows. That's what I noticed. Lots of bars on windows.
That's the best defense.
That's how you know you're in a good neighborhood.
Yep. Keep people out and keep people in.
peanut butter cookies.
No, thank you.
Good, yo.
The sad news, I might as well get into it now, about Tony Ferguson was that his wife has filed a restraining order against him.
What?
Have you been living underneath a rock?
I have. I've been sick for like a while.
Everyone's got that change of season flu, and his wife has filed a restraining order against him because he just kind of lost his mind. It's just he hadn't slept. He'd called, like, they've had the police to their house like 5 times over the last year, and like 3 times in the last month. And he hadn't slept in 3 days. Tore his house apart, like the walls and the chimney, like breaking apart the chimney, swearing there's somebody in the walls, and then claiming there's a pure chip in his leg, and started spraying his wife with holy water. So he's got something, and I don't think it's drugs. That's the thing. I think he's got some screws loose. I think he's not on enough drugs.
Tony
You know?
Ferguson.
Mhm,
I
yep.
guess he's out.
Exactly. His wife did later respond after the whole restraining order coming out, saying that Tony is a great father and a great husband, but he needs mental health help. That's what he needs. That's what he needs. Yeah,
He
that's
believes in flat Earth and
no vaccinations.
no vax.
I think those are the least of his problems right now. Those are no vaxing is on the list, but poor guy, you know what I mean? It's kind of everyone's human. We don't see that. The underbelly of maybe this is the dark side of MMA, of the concussions, the brain damage, the CTE that these guys take on a regular basis, just training. And I think that's what it is coming to. Kurt Angle said it best, because you only have, especially in wrestling, you have like a time limit. You only have so many bumps you can take, like real bad falls. You know what I mean? Every bad fall you take, it just goes on your meter, on your clicker. And when he started training, you would take bad falls all the time to try to toughen you up. And he said he realized, fuck my career. Breaking it down here, very similar in age. Justin Willis 31 to Curtis Blades 28. The advantage goes to Blades in height, only by 3 inches though.
Curtis
Reach.
Blades ranked number 4.
Yeah, number 4 too. Yeah, this is a huge fight. I guess they're giving Big Pretty here the stepping stone moment almost for Curtis Blades, because I think this could be a chance for 2 dudes to be vaulted into title contendership with this win. And I think that Mark Hunt fight made it so. He stood in there with a world-class kickboxer. Even if it was Mark Hunt's, farewell retirement match, where, I'm sure the butterflies were strong in his stomach, he still had to put on a show. Light it up.
Curtis Blades.
All right.
Excited.
Angie? What game are you playing?
It's called Leap World. It's like Mario almost,
Oh, cool.
but it's like zombie.
Oh, cool. I like me a good phone game. Harder to find these days. Everyone wants they all drag you in with with the game's great for the first 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden you have to pay or something like that. You know what I mean? It's always a scam. Did you pay for that one? Free games are the best games. Come out swinging. We could see almost a decision with this one too, Kelly. Wow. These are 2 dudes who've gone the distance many times before. Justin Willis taking the center of the cage. Oh, Blades goes for a takedown, pushes him up against the fence. Going for the single leg here is Curtis Blades. But Justin Willis, we can see that he's using his feet. See him dig his feet in the corner of the mat. It's a move that everyone kind of uses. I think I put some foam in there to kind of get rid of that. I think it's almost people are using it as an advantage. Big knee landed by Blades here. Man, these are 2 huge dudes. Battling right up against the door. Oh, tries to go for the wizard. He lands it. What a takedown. Curtis Blades right into side control. Beautiful move. That's my favorite takedown. Beautiful move. You can't see it coming. No matter how big or how tough you are, you can't. That's just it's a straight trip. Oh, he's taking his back here. He's got 1 foot in. Justin Willis kind of looks like he's a deer in the headlights here. He doesn't really know how to deal with this. He is fighting the hands, which he's got to do. He's got his right hand fighting fighting Curtis Blades' left hand, and using his other hand to kind of getting fed shots now here by Curtis Blades. He is in one hell of a bad position. Curtis Blades doesn't really have all the best back control going on here, and now he kind of gets up. He kind of just wants to go to pound him out rather than going for a choke. I think a choke right now would be huge for his career, though. Oh, heavy knee to the butt. One more. Oh, huge German suplex by Curtis Blades. Wow, what a takedown. Willis here taken to wrestling school.
This is why Curtis Blades is number 4.
Yeah, that's true. He's a big dude, and he's really implementing one hell of a good game here. Here's going right again. Wow, great takedown. Another takedown. 3 huge takedowns by Curtis Blades has really got to seal this round. It's almost a 10-8 round, really. He's feeding him shots. Willis staying alive, though. He's managing to really look a fool almost in this, but he's not really expending all that much energy, which I think it could maybe help him out in the later stages of this fight. I think it almost looks like even Curtis Blades is starting to gasp for some air here. Justin Willis almost going for a Kimura here. He's got his 2 hands on the one, but he's really just kind of gasping for air here. We got a minute and 15 to go here. It's not a time to be taking a breather. It's a time to really be putting your foot on the pedal. It's one thing about summertime, but speaking about putting your foot on the pedal, that's where everyone brings out their nice cars, you know what I mean? Everyone's bringing all their hot rods and shit.
The collector cars.
Yeah.
Lots
Motorbike season, yeah. The ruckus. Yeah, exactly.
Bringing out the ruckus.
Rocking out the ruckus. Curtis Blades really trying to go for another takedown, but just really can't get it here. Oh, he lands another one. He proves me wrong. Lands another takedown. 4 takedowns in this round.
Might be like
Oof. That's why we could see a decision. One dude taking out the other dude, really just kind of not really been able to finish him off. But I think he's got to go for a choke eventually and finish here Willis here. Willis just looked like that was Elvin. I thought he was a better wrestler than this. I thought he had some kind of wrestling background. But I was proven wrong.
all his knees to the thighs is going to make him feel like Jello later.
Oh, for being a heavyweight? For sure, man. Absolutely.
I got nothing. My ruckus is black. It's pretty cool. I chained it up so a crackhead won't steal it. Yeah.
Cool ruckus, man. It's that ruckus season, man. This moment brought to you by the Honda Ruckus. Summertime loves it. The coolest moped on the market. Do you want an economical ride but don't want to look like a D-bag? Honda Ruckus. Fast, sleek, economical.
I saw someone riding on a scooter on the way over here, and I
Yep.
nodded. Like, did that Yeah, brother. Right on.
Like, what a loser.
Oh!
I only ride this because I have to.
Blades gets tagged, but it goes into instant. Oh, he grabs the fence. Good move. Oh, he's going for a ride. What a takedown. Wowzer.
Willis on his back again.
Yep. Same old song and dance. But he's really down this time. The other times he kind of had him up against the fence, and he had a better chance of getting up. I think we could just see Willis not be able to get up from this one this time. He's really gasping here, but Curtis Blades is he's implementing a kind of a weird ground game here. He's almost lying on him rather than using his hips to kind of be his counterbalance weight on him here. But it's working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. But the unfortunate is for us, we just watched a 3-round decision.
Yeah.
and we have the potential right here to watch another 3-round decision.
Not what you want to see with a heavyweight fight.
No, not any heavyweight fight. Absolutely.
You know, we saw a bunch of 125-pound fights, and we expected
Yeah.
the 3 rounds. 5 round if it was a title fight.
Yeah. But we did exactly that. We watched the flyweight match. We watched the 155 match, and then I think we're batting on a lot of decisions tonight already. Yeah, tons of decisions. Well, the Macy Barber was a finish. That was a finish though.
It's a woman fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always pretty good, no matter what.
Ronda Marcos won. She won by armbar too. Huge win for her against a very tough woman too, and Angela Hill.
It's like the women, fight to win.
That's
And
true.
they're just fighting for points a lot of time.
I totally agree, man. And we've been seeing a lot of that recently. Look at the exact perfect example of the 2 chick fights on this. Both. There was another one that went a decision, but the 2 out of 3 were finishes.
I'm sure the third one was super violent. Too.
Yeah, exactly. Jennifer Maia gets the win over Alexis Davis. There was actually 2 Canadian women on this card.
Nice.
Yeah, we had Marcos and Davis. Kind of weird for Nashville, but I guess it's East Coast, so it works. They're both from Quebec.
I'm noticing a lot of Canadian women joining the UFC recently. I wonder if we have like a boom in female.
I think we've always actually had strong women in sports. In soccer.
Yeah, that's true.
We have a good soccer team. Even in wrestling, in the last 2 Olympics, our women have really dominated wrestling a lot. Won gold in both last 2 Olympics, in different weight classes, obviously. You know what I mean?
Wonder if we could see a female Canadian champ in the future.
I think it was the girl who won gold in last. I can't remember her name, but she was from. I know she was from Ontario, but she actually wanted to be in pro wrestling. But I don't think it worked out, so I don't know exactly what she's doing right now.
It's nice to see.
Yeah, the home team. Any proud Canadians in the room?
Yeah, Canada.
Anybody so proud that they
Spend 7 hours getting it tattooed on him. Yeah.
right on, brother, right on. We're all proud Canadians in here.
Not as white trash as
Not at all, not at all, my man, not at all. Oh man, this fight is rough now.
there's no Confederate flag.
Exactly. Proud to be a Canadian. Or at least I know I'm free.
You just plagiarized an American song. Just like song appropriation.
Exactly. Very. Very.
Sweet home, Vancouver. That's where I want to be. Sweet home, Vancouver. Lord,
Take a Kelly.
no, I will not take it.
We're almost. I was thinking about it earlier in the week, and it was almost like really kind of we're at the first quarter of the year. You know, with May just right around the corner, and we gotta already be preparing for that year-end show, and who's going to be on that year-end show. You know what I mean? We already got to start gathering these pieces. Dominoes falling into effect, like with the Dominic Reyes fight last week. Up against Volkan Ozdemir. You know what I mean? I thought, Dominic Reyes was so hot. You know what I mean? The dude was on fire, and he kind of came up again. You know what I mean? Had a hard time. I almost had that fight in Volkan's side to win, and Dominic Reyes was just walking through everybody. You know what I mean? So I thought he had a good chance to be on that year-end show. People, if you're going to win a big marquee fight right now, you have a very good chance to going to going to that year-end. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what this fight could have had. That's what I'm saying. This fight really could have had that. If Curtis Blades got a big knockout, or if they had like a cool war, you know what I mean, a real toe-to-toe war, or Justin Willis had a good knockout. But I think what we're seeing is Justin Willis' style is a very boring style, and Curtis Blades is obviously just tired of taking them down and beating them up. But unfortunately, Big Pretty is getting an opportunity, as we are seeing here. He's just throwing these terrible punches, feints of feints, if you will. And the boos, here they come again. Deservedly so. We're getting some boos here. Third round of a heavyweight bout, though. This is what you expect. That's kind of why you want to see the finish.
Can't believe we'll never see Tony Ferguson versus Khabib, man.
It may not happen. Yeah, it may not happen.
This was getting to me now. It's like, he was a champ. Granted, it was intern.
Yeah.
But, man, I just always wanted to see that fight, and it fell apart so many times.
That's a great point that you bring up, Kelly, because especially for like this era right now, of the two most dominant 155ers, it's those two dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I totally agree with you. And they had so many opportunities to fight. That's what the worst part is they were supposed to fight each other a bunch of times. It wasn't like it was never meant to happen. It was meant to happen like 6 times. You know what I mean? And they never fought each other. Unfortunately.
It'd be like never seeing DC versus John Jones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. But they fought each other multiple times.
But you'd always be like, man, who'd win? DC versus John Jones, man. Who'd win?
I think that's what you have. I think that's the same feeling you have with Tony Ferguson and
Yeah.
Khabib. And I think it obviously is being pushed back farther, obviously, with Tony Ferguson's mental health and Khabib's kind of unwillingness to participate with the UFC. You know what I mean? Everyone kind of gets that. When they get that Conor money, they for some reason think they're worth Conor money. And it's like a bad date, you know, and it didn't work out. And the other person's like, oh, I'm like super into you. I was like, I actually wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It's just
marrying
really
a rich guy and then getting half his money during the divorce and thinking you earned it.
No, that's a way better scenario. That's a way better scenario.
Guys, he marry Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Get a divorce, you own half of Tesla and shit. Like, yeah, I earned this shit.
Another takedown by Curtis Blades. One minute and 15 seconds to go. We were, we were regaled with one hell of a rough few matches, man. But I think that was worst case scenario for this. This is like 2 hours of basically continuous bullshit with no break.
Well, I thought Blades
Spewing.
would win easily. I just didn't think it would be boring as well.
Put us out of our misery here. 45 seconds left in the third round.
Just hammer fist to the head while riding his back. Giving him no space. He's going up against the fence. He's going to put his back against the fence so he can spin. Going to try to pop up. Doubt he's going to be able to. Oh, I did. So tired.
So tired. Is maybe fighting in Nashville is not a good place to fight. You know what I mean? It's got some kind of humidity or altitude. You know, it's like playing in Denver. Terrible.
He looks gassed from
Altitude
carrying
gets
Blades
to
the
ya.
whole time too. Oh, he's talking. Blades is talking shit after the fight. He's like, yeah, bitch. That's why they call me Blades. Blades.
He is saying bitch. He's saying something though before bitch though.
Maybe I make you my bitch.
He's saying something. He was saying something. That was weird. Who takes it? It's a real toss-up. Who's the winner?
Close fight. Lots of action. Lots of strikes landed and thrown. I don't know. Toss up. Could be like a 28-29 round. Fight.
I'm almost gonna say this is going to be one of those like a 30-25.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
basically a draw.
Yeah. You both suck. Nobody wins.
Nobody.
Like I was saying though before though, I think this should have been a statement match for Curtis Blades if he wanted to be that guy, and it kind of wasn't. He won, but it kind of really wasn't. He didn't finish him. You know,
those fights where it's like the fans are the real winners. Well, this is the opposite of that.
Oh.
30-25.
Wow. We got 130-25. Wow.
Well, you know, fourth ranked fighter versus 10th.
Oh, now you got to be interviewed. Curtis Blades takes the win. You got to be interviewed now by a dude you could potentially be fighting. That's kind of weird.
DC would easily take
Oh,
it.
without a shadow of a doubt. He'd kick the shit out of him. Yeah.
Taking nothing away from Curtis Blades.
Yeah.
You know,
He's beaten some dudes. Yeah, exactly. But he just hasn't...
it's just not DC. It's not
Exactly.
John Jones Bones.
Strong win, but it wasn't against like super tough competition either. That's the thing. They kind of gave him a little bit of an easy dude to fight, and we saw that, but he couldn't finish him. Very durable. I think what we saw was the durability. Obviously, a big pretty.
Too. Big guys.
I guess his whole team is huge. What's Chris Weidman doing there? It's in Nashville. What the hell's he doing? What the hell's going on? Oh, it's Gian Vellante. That's why they're like best friends. Gian Vellante stuffing his finger up Chris Weidman's nose for some reason. I guess it's like a New York thing.
Main event coming up next.
About bloody time. The fight we all came to see. Gonna do a little bit of a
Who you got?
a little bit of the Gaethje versus Barbosa. I just feel sorry for that matchup. But I'm hyped for this one. UFC Fight Night 148 main event. Thompson versus Pettis. Tonight we got a welterweight showdown against the ageless karate ace Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Will put Anthony Showtime Pettis to the test. We'll find out who's going to be the contender at 170. An odd matchup to have Pettis have his first 170 fight against a guy like Wonderboy. Crazy matchup. I think the keys to victory in this one, it's going to be Thompson is going to have to control the center and be aggressive. That's what we haven't seen from him enough, is his aggression. And I think that's what lost him both those Woodley matches.
Thompson must be the favorite.
He definitely is, yeah. But are we seeing that, like, I'm an aging 155? Does 170 better suit Showtime Penis? Penis.
Showtime Penis. Sounds like a good porn name.
What a nickname. I think for Pettis, though, his keys to victory, he's got to use every trick in his book that he can use, and he's got to take it to the ground. I think that's what it's got to be his number one key to victory. Take it to the ground. His submissions are underrated. The dude's got a ton of win by submissions, and I think that's basically how he's going to win this, because I think Wonderboy's going to be far too good on his feet. There was a ton of MMA on today and yesterday too. Bellator was on last night too. KSW was on this morning, obviously, because it's like Saturday over there in Poland. KSW puts on some great cards. I actually unfortunately missed this one, and I was super saddened by that. KSW putting on another really good show. I wish I could have watched it though. Pudzianowski lost. Mariusz Pudzianowski's like the world's strongest man. He was like the world's strongest man a few times. He actually lost his fight.
Finally, skill beats strength. I always said someday it would.
He wasn't the best of fighter. That's the only thing. He was decent. He was decent, but he wasn't the best of fighter. But they actually had a decent start. They had Satoshi Ishii was actually on the card. He actually wins by split decision against Fernando Rodriguez Jr. Norman Park, he was on it was like a UK Ultimate Fighter. He was on the card too against Baros Monkowski, who's like one of their best fighters in KSW2. That fight goes to decision. Norman Park takes the win. And then the main event was their champ versus champ, heavyweight champ versus light heavyweight champ. And Philip DeFries took on Thomas Narcoon, and it went to decision too.
It showed the Edson Barboza Terry Edom knockout. That was bad.
That was like a posterized. That's a really posterized Edson Barboza against Terry Edom. Yeah, Terry Edom. Eat him up.
That guy ever fight again? I don't think he did.
He fought a few times, I think, but I don't think I think that definitely didn't help his career. There's a Norwegian fighter on that card too. That's odd.
That was a bad spinning back thing.
He just warming him up. I was hoping Morgan was going to be here because we were going to smack talk some football. We've been smack talking football all week. And because obviously with the Cowboys signings, or lack thereof, this week, they signed Randall Cobb. But obviously with my team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, losing some key marquee players. But they've done this many times before in the past, where they've gotten rid of guys that weren't about the team, and I think that's what they're always about. I think they're going to be just fine next year. Even so much so that I placed a bet that the Pittsburgh Steelers will have a better record than the Dallas Cowboys next season. And I'm sticking by my bet. I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to implode. I think an implosion is imminent for that team. Somebody wants out. I think they're going to have all these pieces and still lose, and then the divas come out. Happened with Des Bryant, and it's going to happen again. Breaking it down, football. You got anything to add there, Kyle?
You're doing great.
Oh, shit. Let's break this man down here. Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy.
Unfortunately, he just kind of came up against that problem of being the toughest dude in the world. And you have to fight all the other toughest dudes in the world at that weight class. And that's tough. He has, like, basically just never been finished. You know what I mean? He's only lost by decision. He lost to Tyron Woodley, and the other one was a draw. And then he got an easy one in Jorge Masvidal. But he still took Jorge Masvidal to the distance. You know, my man Jorge obviously coming off his huge win against Darren Till. That's what was crazy, is both these dudes had fought Darren Till, and Wonder Boy had actually lost to Darren Till, and
But he punched Eves like backstage after the fight there.
yeah, Leon.
I wonder what's gonna happen with that.
Yeah, I hope they don't fight, because that'd be a step down for Jorge Masvidal. I think it would be a he's way up against Leon Edward.
I wonder if there's gonna be any like percussions.
Oh, I see.
Like,
I hope
suspending
not.
him for-
Yeah, I hope not. Still, I never thought that Jorge would have won that fight, too. You know what I mean? I think obviously he was on a high. He just knocked out a dude he was a mega underdog to lose to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And obviously Leon Edwards had said some shit, and Jorge Masvidal is one of the craziest dudes ever. Like, he was like when Kimbo was fighting dudes in backyards.
Yeah.
Jorge Masvidal was too. The exact same organization, like this crazy backyard organization that Kimbo was fighting for. Jorge was fighting dudes too, and he was fighting like heavyweights too, like bare knuckle backyard boxing, and he was winning. That's what was the craziest thing. He had like a 3-way war against this dude, like a rubber match. Like Jorge had beaten this dude up once, and then this dude got, I think his name was like Little Ren or something like that. His name was, and then he got him. Then he beat up Jorge once, and they had the rubber match where Jorge won. You know what I mean? So but this dude was huge. You know, he was like a big dude. You know what I mean? And so he has a little bit of the backyard wrestling. He is exactly that, game bred. He's got one of the best nicknames in all MMA, one of the toughest dudes. But he just was built to fight, and that's Jorge Masvidal to a T. Showtime, Pettis. This is gonna be good, but let's hope we don't see a. This could even have the slight potential. It still has a decent margin of percentage that this could be a decision too.
No.
I hope you recorded the extra 30 minutes, folks. This is gonna be a long night. Oh, he's got like a special case for his mouth guard. Put some water in that mouth guard. Who do you think takes it though? Kelly, I gotta ask you though on that one.
I'm gonna go with Pettis. Go with the underdog.
Ooh, wow, nice. Yeah, I'll take Wonder Boy. And like I was talking about earlier in the night, though, I think this win for either dude is going to really set the precedent, obviously, for that next fight. And I think this one has title fight implications, because I think the 170 belt, I think, will be in turmoil for the next little while here. Especially with the influx of Jorge Masvidal being Darren Till, I think that's a huge change of the guard when it comes to Darren Till losing 2 fights in a row. And has Jorge found a weight at 170? Maybe these 155 dudes are coming up to 170. They're finding a place because it just fits better with them. It's kind of weird that they would give Wonder Boy the second entrance when Showtime was actually a champ. He was actually one undisputed 155 champ.
It was this, I'm not even sure what the source is. 22 hours ago, Tony Ferguson is back on track and asking followers who he should fight next on Twitter.
Wow.
I'm sure you could say that and still be like out of it. Getting that urge back on track. Who did the fans want to see me face across from the Octagon champ shit only? Yeah. I'm not sure that means he's better.
No. I think he just posted it's just some mega PR stuff. Like,
yeah. I mean, he just
probably wasn't even, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. That's in Japan. They would always like announce the guy when he's like walking to the ring, right? Like during a song, which was even cooler. And in Pride, it was a woman who Lady Hart, and she did like a lot of like voiceover stuff. That was her thing. Yeah, it was voiceover work. She was in Japanimation, like, or anime is what people call it, right? Because if you're the to speak the English part, all that stuff has to be translated, obviously, right? And if you can get a role in doing the English speaking part, you can actually do some shit with it. And that's what she did. She did video games too, a lot of video game voice work.
Nice.
But I don't think we'll ever see like the voice of Pride again. Even Lady Hart, I think she has retired even from doing voiceover work. She was getting up there in age.
This fight already happened, or is it live?
It is live. We are live. Yeah, this fight has not happened yet. Early start to the UFC, too. And not for me like an ESPN show. This is just like a fight night, too. Kind of odd. Tale of the tape.
I didn't realize Steven was 36.
Yeah, he is older. Pettis is even 32. He's had a lot of fights at 32. Reach, I think, is going to be reach and the height. That those 2 inches at both reach and height, I think, are going to play a huge effect in this fight.
Pettis has that ex-champ status.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't he on like a Wheaties box way back?
He was, yeah, he sure was. But he got brought in first. I think the dude who has the better prestige should be brought in second. But I guess since it's 170, I'm not sure. Or if they just don't care about that. Just random.
he's bigger at 170, Pettis, but he's fighting a big 170.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it. I think BJ Penn had a bit of success doing that for a short period of time, but you know, I mean that short period of time was very short. He's not as big as these guys, though.
No, he's not as tall. Same height as GSP though. GSP was 5'10".
Yeah, that's true too.
But
Yeah.
he's a lot more built.
Yeah,
A lot more built.
he is pretty thick. To the very white crowd goes insane. Nashville, Tennessee. Wow. All the bets were in. It looks like a lot of people were betting on this one. They're both East Coast guys, and so is kind of Nashville. So I mean, it's a good fight put on by the UFC to put on two. They're very close to each other too. To Nashville. Even so much so as people having signs in the stands. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. White signs with white O's. Hardly read it. Good job.
Here we go. All right, man. Main event of the evening. What you've all come to watch. Let's do it. Herb Dean in it, so this could be a bad call coming down the pipe here too. No surprise that Wonderboy working the kicks off the bat. Tentative bits here between these two dudes. What a roundabout way they've gone about their careers, especially when it comes to Pettis. You know, a guy who was a megastar in WEC. And then for it to fold, to come over to UFC, he's kind of had up and downs. He was a lightweight champ, you know what I mean? But no one can take that away from him. That's the main thing, I think. To somehow make it to 170, you know what I mean? And to be fighting Wonderboy here, I didn't predict this. I don't think anyone predicted this for his career.
After all these years, headlining at 170.
Yeah, exactly. a fight night in Nashville, Tennessee. Ooh, Pettis kind of eating some there. Lands a leg kick though. Wonderboy lands one back. Quick on his feet, Wonderboy looks here. You know what I mean? I think he looks a bit more comfortable because maybe he doesn't have to worry about the takedown. And that's what my keys to victory was going to be for Pettis, was to go for the takedown. Ooh, a little bit of a flash kick there from Pettis, but dodged easily by Wonderboy. Beautiful kick. Quick jabs. I think that's what we're seeing is you can see like the leg position. Wow, jumps and he totally checks the leg kick on that one too. Wonderboy is he's ready to strike. And I think Pettis could be in for a world of pain if he decides to engage with that striking. Landed a few nice body kicks though. Another nice body kick landed by Pettis. Seeing him kind of chasing him down a little bit here too. But he's really not answering. Whoa! Spinning
heel kick.
Yeah. Misses. Nice little 1-2 there by Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Pettis answers back with a leg kick of his own. Another leg kick landed by Pettis. Wonderboy answering back with a flurry of his own. Pettis isn't backing down. I think that's what I'm liking about this here. He's really standing in there. And I don't know if Wonderboy has really landed something like super flush. Obviously, his nose is a little bit beat up, but I don't know if he's landed a ton of really flush shots. Ooh. Whoa, spinning heel kick partially lands by Wonderboy. I think we're seeing a little bit of a quickness edge here. Whoa! I think Pettis getting a little bit frustrated with that reprisal of the shot there on that one. Almost a Kyokushin kick, but Pettis landing with the nice little leg kick. Those will add up later on. Oh, 10 seconds left.
And the round's over.
This round is brought to you by Budweiser, the Pepsi of beers. No, we're the Coca-Cola of beers.
You're a beer slut tonight, man. Just drinking all these types of beers.
Do you like regular beer? Try Budweiser. Regular.
What do you got going on?
Okanagan Springs. Round 2, here we go. I think it was a tough round to call. Who did you call in the first round, Kelly?
Oh man, aggression or like strikes thrown? Like what do you?
Yeah, exactly. It's been a bit of a very, very even round. That's why I'm even trying to say that Wonderboy even won that round, but did he really? And
He's been backing up, but he's been throwing more.
yeah, exactly. And Pettis has been landing the odd one, like the body kicks and the leg kicks. How much of those do you count? So I think if we see more of the same in this round, I think it's going to be one of those fights is going to come down. We are in the 5-round fight main event, but when you come to the third round and it's still up in the air, that third round is still the quintessential round of the fight. You got anything you want to add there, Kyle?
He said yes. He's coming over. Oh, he just fell. Never mind.
He fell down the stairs.
Now we're laughing at him.
He's all right, folks.
He's all right. Just needs to sit down for a bit now.
Good thing is the TV. He's got a TV to watch in front of him. He's doing all right. They've slowed the pace down just a tad bit in the second round here. 3 minutes before we're really seeing any. 3 minutes in here before we're seeing really any action. But Pettis is showing the wear and tear of getting tagged one too many times. That's the thing about Stephen Thompson. He does not get hit. Landing a pair of leg kicks on his own. Nice body kicking and avoiding the damage again from Pettis here. Oh, I kind of had it. He did think that there was a sneaking suspicion that Wonderboy was going to come in with that lunging jab after that, and he did. And he kind of blocked it with his two hands. I think it's just what we see from Stephen Wonderboy Thompson at time and time again is, especially if you want to stand with him, it's a very bad idea because he's so creative with his attacks, and he doesn't mind mixing it up with the likes of anybody really when it comes to staying on the feet. That's why I think that's why we saw such a terrible match of Tyron Woodley, because Tyron Woodley could take him down at will. Why we're not seeing that from Pettis here? We haven't seen one single takedown attempt.
Boring.
We haven't been really regaled with much heavy action in this round. That's what I'm saying. Is there's something wrong with springtime in Nashville? It's a terrible time. It's very humid or something. It's a lot of bugs. I can only imagine there's a lot of bugs in Nashville. Kind of just seeing a stand-up here beatdown, really, of Anthony Pettis. Oh, even that little jab lands there. He's standing so close to him. I don't know how Pettis isn't counterattacking here. I almost think maybe he doesn't want to get countered by the onslaught. Oof. 14 seconds to go. Hopefully. Holy moly! Wow!
My picks today.
OMG! Wow!
And Anthony Pettis knocks
Holy shit.
just knocks out.
Just as I'm about to say, I hope we see more action in the third round. Anthony Pettis lands a right hook from hell right on the button. And Wonderboy is still on the ground. Let's see it here. Let's see the replay here.
It's out of
Wow. It was a Showtime right hook. He kicked off the fence.
nowhere. Oh, did he really?
He really did. Watch.
And he's- oh,
See?
shit, he
Oh my
did. He
God.
knocks him out with a
Wow. Holy shit. Wow. The Showtime punch. How does this? Like I said, man, he pulled another trick out of his book. How can you redo the Showtime kick with that? The Showtime punch. Witness fucking live. The crowd is in shock.
What happened?
He's like, what the hell hit me? In the dying seconds, too.
I guess 170 is his weight class.
Whew.
Even Tyron Woodley couldn't do that. Just knock him right out. out like that.
What a punch! He went in. He kind of ate a little bit of a shot too, on the way in. You know what I mean? And still didn't give a shit about coming in. Anthony Pettis, wow, getting it done. Official decision coming right up, folks. Where does that put him back in the 170 book? You know what I mean? Does it?
Top 5.
Yeah. I think he's got to fight somebody else before he gets a title shot again. But
I think he's one fight away.
wow, especially that it's his first fight at 170. You know, a guy who fought as low as 145.
Is it? I thought it was the second.
For Pettis?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's his first fight at 170. I could be mistaken. Let's check it out here. Huge win. Wow. I cannot believe it.
Probably right.
His last fight was
yeah,
Tony
right.
Tony Ferguson, Chiesa, Poirier,
Yeah.
Miller. I think Holloway. Yeah, tough up and down. He lost 3 in a row,
I don't know why I thought he fought.
and then he won, lost. You know what I mean? What a up and down career for Showtime Pettis. And here, huge feather in his cap.
Like
Wow.
zoom in on Stephen Thompson's face, like just like showing how sad he is. Like, that's terrible, man. Why would you do that?
Oh, man. Wow.
Show how sad he is. Zoom right in.
Wow. Well, man, this has been going on too long. I didn't think it would be this long. That's longer than normal with all the decisions, and I can't believe I went this long. Hot tamales. I'd love to do fucking commentating for like local wrestling or bullshit like that. You know what I mean? Even local like kickboxing, some crap like that. That'd be fun to do. Especially with a few waters in you.
I stutter too much, but you could do it.
Stuttering's all part of real life, man. Oh, shit. Exactly.
I was trying to help out.
Well, for this beautiful establishment, and for my man, co-host, and producer extraordinaire Kelly, we did it, man. It was a good show. You've been listening to the New Podcast. Signing off.